let me ask you this: if you could make a biopic about anybody famous, who would you do it about?
I hate how good that question was. I'm a big fan. Who the hell am I a big fan of?
You know who I would?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're going to let me answer, and then you could...
Okay.
I ask you
I won't
question.
influence your answer then. All right, think.
Of a musician?
Anybody famous. Doesn't have to be a musician. A famous person you like that if you had a chance to make a movie about them because you think you could tell their story, or you find their story the most interesting, and you felt like you need to bring it to the screen.
Fuck, I can't think of one.
I would genuinely want to like make a movie about any of the 80s, like wrestlers from the 80s, or even like the 70s. You know, like fucking make a movie. Well, if that HBO documentary about Andre the Giant wasn't so good, but then you'll have to find an actor to play Andre. You know.
Good luck.
I know, it's like.
Where do you find someone with 40 teeth on the top of their mouth?
I know, right?
And then 50 on the bottom.
You know, it'd be interesting if somebody made a biopic about like Dusty Rhodes and like see him like go through like.
Dude, don't do that to me, man. Shit.
Either Dusty Rhodes biopic. Jake the Snake is alive, but I think his story is also like I think speaks a lot to the heart of a lot of like the arc of a lot of 80s wrestlers, especially with like their struggles with like drug addiction and stuff.
You haven't heard the Hogan movie?
There's a Hogan movie?
With Chris Hemsworth? The guy who played Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
he's playing Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, like that's still going on?
Well, this guy who interviews movie stars and wrestlers, Chris something, Van something.
Yeah.
I guess he interviewed him. I could be confusing.
But
he was like, "Are you still doing the Hogan thing? Maybe, maybe not." That's what he said. So they brought it up in conversation.
Two wrestlers I would like to see a movie about. You tell me if you'd watch these movies. Biopic about Eddie Guerrero.
Fuck yeah. What's the second one?
Chris Benoit.
Fuck yeah.
Because the Eddie Guerrero one, you know, everybody by the end of that movie, especially every wrestling fan and every like
fuck you
Latino wrestling fan,
fuck you,
fucking crying in the theaters.
Fuck you, dude.
That's our La Bamba right there.
We can't. Make...
That's our wrestling La Bamba right there.
You know what? This is one of those things that can't be built because you're gonna make a whole bunch of grown ass Mexican men cry.
Because you know, like when it gets to the end, and then like they're gonna like do a little montage of like actual footage of Eddie Guerrero in his prime, and like you're just thinking like, fuck, seeing him hugging his mom after he wins the title belt
in San Francisco,
you know,
right
like,
here in Northern California, dude. You piece of shit. It wasn't in Pennsylvania.
Who would you get to play Eddie?
You know what? Dominic Mysterio looks a lot like Eddie with his mullet now.
Yeah. The other one,
this is why I don't do casting.
One that's like would be less fun, but also super tragic, and I know would push a lot of would be controversial and push a lot of buttons. Would be the Benoit one because, his story is like fuck. Oh, one I know that probably would not be fun to make because of how tragically it ends and so abruptly is probably the Owen Hart a movie about Owen Hart. You can't do it because it ends too tragically. Because you know the way it's gonna end is like it's gonna be right there. Just like it's like, hey, like Owen, this you know there's gonna be a line somewhere in the movie just like, hey man, this thing doesn't look safe. It's all right. No, we've done it 100 times. And then Owen says one last thing to his friends, just like, hey, you know, whatever last words he says to them. You see him walk away into like into the shadows or into the light.
Into the Raptors.
Cut. Immediately smash cut to news footage of like this just in. Oh, like archival news footage of like Owen Hart, of like people reporting that Owen Hart has like died or whatever. And then like the reactions of all the actors playing people like Brett and like Jim Neidhart and Vince McMahon.
Dude, these are tragedies, dude.
I know it's hard. Like I think. What about a Ric Flair movie? Would you watch a Ric Flair movie?
I'd like to see a Ric Flair movie.
I would. That's why I would want to see either like I would want to see a Dusty Rhodes movie because I know that ends wholesomely. You know, I mean, he can, and you know, you can shit on Cody and bring up Goldust and see how cool he is as the true Rhodes son.
I think Mount Rushmore, like you said, they already did Andre. They're doing one on Hogan. Ric Flair, dude.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair's.
What about a Macho Man movie?
The world ain't ready.
Because I mean,
no, he played Bonesaw McGraw there in Spider-Man.
No,
he had his movie.
But would you? Yeah, but like a movie about his life though.
Ooh. He used to play baseball.
Yeah, so you imagine like the movie starts off with him playing baseball with his like, and then like you find out like his brother is doing like wrestling stuff, so he does it too after baseball doesn't go well, and then then you get the romance of Miss Elizabeth, then you get like the madness era, and you get like all the drug abuse and like the steroid stuff, which obviously makes Vince look bad. And then you get to like his downfall, and then maybe the rap, and then maybe like a little offhand joke about his rap album, but then eventually like. I feel like that's a movie that maybe the thing is like if they die at the end, not as an old person in like who's lived a good life, they die in like a tragedy. Most of these wrestlers die. That's why a Dusty Rhodes movie is more appropriate because he eventually died of old age. He lived a long full life, I would say.
But Ric Flair has the whole like lavish lifestyle. Almost died in a plane crash. Been fighting since the 70s, 80s, 90s.
So
2000s.
Same thing with Dusty.
So,
you know who?
But he never won the championship like Ric Flair.
You know what? You know who would another person just because the books are there? Mick Foley.
Fuck Mick Foley, dude. We can't do him. He's hardcore.
Make a movie on just make a movie about Have a Nice Day.
We're cutting this all out, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're going long.
Fuck, dude. Because no, you're really fuck.
You know what?
Why'd you do this to me?
You know what? Okay, we're gonna. This will be cut out from the main thing, but this will be an extra.
Okay.
This will be a special feature. This will be an extra because this is a good convo right here. And anybody else who's listening, please come on, comment if you had a chance to make a biopic, make a movie, a biographical movie about any famous person that you like or whose life that you think is interesting. Tell us, because like all I can think is that there's not enough biopics about famous wrestlers. There should be, but there isn't. It's all musicians or actors. Yeah, but it's like based off of it. I mean, that's a good movie. I like that one, but it's not about a specific wrestler.
Like, I want to watch that movie now, dude. You brought it up like 2 weeks ago.
It's good. It's fucking good. And it's shown on 60 millimeter.
Let's end it.
Okay.